Today's episode of InREAlity is a conversation with a product trainer. And I'm sure a lot of you will be very interested because we're going to talk about call center lifestyle and of course what happens during product training. And our guest for today also happens to be Cebu's best vlogger of 2020. And I'm so honored to have her here today. So if you are excited to meet her, then let's go. Alright everyone, let's welcome our guest for today. We have Margrette. Hi Margrette, how are you doing?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm doing great, actually. Happy Sunday.
Yes, thank you so much, by the way, for agreeing to appear on my show on a Sunday. I really appreciate it. Yes, and Margrette.
It's such an honor, Rhea. Oh my God.
Wow. Thank you. I know, right? Thank you so much. Of course, our Cebu Vlogger of the Year for 2020 is here. So it's also my honor to collaborate with you in this video and, of course, bring value to our audience who are working in the BPO industry. So, Marge, let's start with a quick introduction about you, like your background, or how did you decide to be part of the BPO industry for, just to give context to our viewers out there.
Okay. I started as an agent, a technical support agent in TP for a cable provider in America. I was an agent for 8 months, and then my trainer decided to, why not allow me to demo for a trainer post. It was a temporary trainer post. So I passed, and then after that, I think they liked me, so I'm now working as a trainer for almost 8 years.
Wow.
That's a very quick transition from agent to trainer. I did not really expect that because I did not even see myself working in a call center before because I failed many times during application before TP. I tried to apply in big brands before, but I was still undergraduate, so I think that's one of the reasons why I did not pass. But things changed. Turned out that I was fit for a trainer, but I had to wait for the right time.
Oh, yes. That's a very nice story to begin with because you mentioned that you'd not really expect that you'd be part of the BPO industry. So can you tell us more about your story? Like, what was your job application like and what stood out to you?
I worked for an ESL before, but it was only for around 3 to 5 months, and my salary was only 3,500 for 15 days.
Okay.
So my friends told me that I think you should try working in a call center. They pay at least 14,000 per month. So I said, yeah, I think I should try that because it's a huge difference when it comes to pay. So I applied in TP, got hired for the first time. Okay, so I was really happy, but it was also nerve-wracking because my fellow trainees were all experienced and I had no experience before what MACOs are. So it's really helpful if you really research ahead what you're going into so that you won't be surprised to what you will be doing inside the training room.
Exactly, which is why I have this YouTube channel to provide educational tips for people who want to research getting into the industry. And what was training like for you? Did you find it easy or difficult?
No, it was very difficult for me because technical support is somehow more on codes, and my memory is not very that good, so I had to memorize codes. And I was really grateful for my seatmates who were experienced technical support agents before, who did MACOs on top of what they're doing because I failed a few tests. I did a lot of retakes, but I'm glad I did not fail. So yeah, it also helps when you befriend people who have experience because they will help you as well.
You're right. I think that's a very valid point that you have there, Marge. Like a lot of my viewers would ask during training, I'm so shy or embarrassed because I don't have call center experience, and most of my batchmates already have experience. And what I'd always tell them is to, you have to you have to use that to your advantage in a way that you ask help for those people of experience, right? Which is what you did. So I'm glad that, it's actually, yes, there's actually a story in real life wherein that is so true.
By the way, I have a lot of friends asking me help because they want to apply for a BPO and I don't really have a content for that. So look at Rhea Ninja's channel. She has a lot of content for that.
Yay! Well, thank you. Thank you so much for recommending my channel. And when you were still a trainee, what were your victories and your struggles that time?
Victories. I believe listening to the trainer is really plays such a huge role because of course you're absorbing all the information, and one of my weaknesses are the quotes that I told you. My memory is very low when it comes to quotes, but I also applied real life experiences like fixing the cable box or what we had before are the DVD, VCR. So I applied my experience with that. So it actually helped. Real life experiences and also listening to the trainer.
Yes. During that time, during training, were you allowed to bring notebooks so that you can take notes or can use the notepad?
We're not allowed to bring paper because they were paperless, but we had stations. We had our own stations. We were allowed to take notes, but virtually.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's at least
so all of the materials are on the PC.
And you mentioned you were not so good with memorization, but was that were your lessons, since you mentioned your lessons are already on the computer, were you able to use that during your assessments or something? Or is it really strictly memorization? You can't look at anything during your tests or your assessments?
Well, it helps to be familiar with the interface, with the training interface, and with that, I know where to go.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my son is awake. Sorry.
It's okay.
I know where to go in the interface in the system, but I could not memorize all the codes. So I was forced to open the material every time, which is of course recommended for all the agents to always make use of what is available.
Yes, exactly. I think I'd like to double down on that because maybe a lot of agents are worried that they have to memorize a lot of things, but really you have your job aids or your knowledge base, right? Wherein if you forget something, you can feel free to check it out. And now, of course,
go ahead. What's good about ops as well is because some offices, they have guides placed on your stations. If you're not that good when it comes to memorizing things like me, they have printouts on station sometimes. It's actually a good help to guide you.
Yes, exactly. I think it's like formula that you can just bring with you and you don't have to memorize.
It's there.
Yes,
no sweat.
Exactly. And now, of course, you're already a trainer and you probably are seeing yourself in some of the trainees that you have, right? Because you've been there. So what are your top 3 tips for new hires who are struggling in training, may it be in their performance, attendance, culture in the BPO industry?
I have 3 tips. One of them are being present, of course, being on time. It really pays to be in the training for the whole duration, no absences, no misses, no tardiness, because it will also help with your score. Not only your score, but of course your knowledge. Because what if you missed a specific lesson, and then that's very important. So it's going to be a huge factor affecting your performance in operations as well. So attendance. Second is paying attention. It really plays a huge role when you pay attention to your trainer, because your trainer knows almost everything, because of course they're there to train you. They're the subject matter experts. They know everything, how to work on specific matters in operations. So if you just listen, pay attention, and then stop whatever you're doing. Just make sure you're 100% listening to your trainer. It will really help you pass.
Yes.
Third is, I think it's your attitude. You also need to adjust as well, because perhaps maybe outside work you're let's say stubborn, or you're impatient, but of course you're training to get a job, and that job will pay for your meals, for your food, for everything that you'll be having in life. So I believe giving your 100% or even your 1000% would really help.
Yes, amazing.
I think that's the 3.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing those insights. And I totally agree with you, having worked as a trainer myself for nearly 7 years before I started working from home. Totally agree with everything that you said. Okay, now I'm just curious if you are a strict trainer, or are you just very friendly to your trainees? Do you have some kind of boundary?
When it comes to being in the training room, I need to make sure I show that I am not the person that you can abuse easily. So I'm kind of strict when it comes to the first few phases of training. But when I know the attitude of everyone inside the class, I then adjust a bit, laugh sometimes. But I'm very friendly when it comes to being outside the training room. I eat with people in the pantry, talk with them. But when we're back in the training room, I slowly shift. Different aura. Okay, she's strict now. I need to pay attention. Just like that.
And I think that's very important, because you want to build that authority in the training room. Because sometimes, some trainees would just say, she's just friendly, I can always ask her something, or I can always do my thing. So they might not take the training seriously, because I've experienced that, and
they might abuse you.
Yeah, which is why you really have to stand your ground. And I like that. And thank you so much for your insights so far, Marge. We're just gonna have a quick commercial break, and I'm going to announce our ebook giveaway when we get back. So everyone, don't leave us yet, because we're going to continue our conversation with Marge, and we'll be back in a jiffy. Alright everyone, welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. Before I move on with our conversation with Marge, I just want to announce our ebook giveaway. All you need to do is comment your name or username or any name that you want me to identify you with, because I have to announce that in my social media accounts. And of course, this one is very important. You have to comment one takeaway or lesson learned that you have from this episode. For sure you've learned a lot so far, and this giveaway ends after 24 hours. And we're back with Marge, everyone. But before we continue with our serious questions, let's have Ask Talk questions. A la Boy Abunda, you know how this works.
Oh my god.
Very simple.
Is it a one-word?
Yes.
One-word answer?
Yes, one-word answer, no explanation needed.
Oh my.
No explanation needed. Alright, are you ready?
Ready.
Voice or non-voice?
Non-voice.
Customer service or sales?
Customer service.
Coffee or soda?
Soda.
Overtime before shift or overtime after shift?
Before shift.
Late or absent?
Late.
Cash or GC?
Cash.
Office or work from home?
Work from home.
Yeah. Are you working from home now? Yes?
Yes.
With the training, so you have online trainings, okay?
Yes.
Holiday off or double pay?
Day off.
For sure. Day shift or night shift?
Day shift.
Team drinking or team eating?
Team drinking.
Okay, last fast up question. Would you rather have an office where you can wear pajamas to work, or work in a really fancy office?
Pajamas.
Pajamas all the way.
Work there.
Same here.
Okay.
For sure. Yes, thank you so much for participating. Let's continue with our questions. Let's talk about the time when you were still taking calls for sure you've learned a lot from your customers. And in my case as well, I've learned so much from customers who have different culture from ours. So what did you learn from taking calls or speaking with customers?
I've learned that you need to be patient because each customer is different. They have different backgrounds, they have different lifestyles, and of course you have one main goal, that is to help out that person you're talking to. There are times that you'll be shouted upon, is it right?
Shouted.
Yeah,
shouted at, yes.
Shouted at, so, and there will be times that you'll be having customers who will cry talking to you. So yeah, you need to treat everyone with respect. That's very important. So as whatever type of customer you're talking to, treat them with respect. Pay attention to all the details that they're saying to you. Take note of all of them because it will really be helpful.
Yes. Have you encountered crying customers? Like emotional customers? I mean, how do you...
especially the old ones. Especially the seniors in America, they seem to be very sensitive. So sometimes we even talk about something outside the help that they're asking from us, and it really helps that you build rapport with them. It builds a connection, and it also it builds the trust between you and the person that you're helping, and it will help with your CSAT.
Yes.
Not focusing on the score only, but of course that's something very pleasant that you're doing while working, is meeting a new friend, although you will not meet that person.
Yes, that's true.
You will not meet that person in person, but somehow, somewhere in the world, you made someone happy, and that's should be one of your goals.
Yeah, I like that. It's like speaking with a stranger about your feelings and what's happening. You will not really meet that person, but it will make you feel good because you actually helped that person. That's nice. And there are days when you feel like that, but of course, as we work in the fast-paced environment of the BPO industry, there are times when sometimes you feel exhausted and tired, right? If ever that happened to you. So was there a time in your life wherein you're like, I'm so tired of working, I just want to quit? And how did you manage to keep going?
I believe there are times that our scores need to reach this certain high, but we simply can't because some customers really can't give you that high CSAT. Sometimes they even give you very low CSATs because they're angry of the scenario, of the situation, but not really angry at you. But somehow the only outlet that they have is to give you the lowest CSAT possible because the issue can really be fixed no matter how hard you try. So sometimes when I was new, I was stress eating. I always go to the pantry, eat a lot, because I was very new to the stressful environment of taking calls. But a few months after, I was able to adjust, and somehow I said to myself, "Do your work. Your shift will end at 6 a.m. Just answer what they're asking about, just help them out, and then that's it." Because before I got affected with all the rants, of all the shouting, of all the... I'm also sensitive, but I think the BPO industry made me somehow stronger than what I was before. So I'm thankful at the same time.
Yes, I agree. It really made you that kind of person who sometimes just doesn't care anymore, but not to the point that you're insensitive, but you know, you're like willing to move on from one call to another, right?
Yes.
And in your case, since you became a trainer, what is your advice to people who want to move up? Like, when do you think is the best time to move up or apply for a promotion?
Well, some companies, just like the one that I have right now, they have a certain period when you can move up. So a certain like 18 months in that position, you're already eligible to move up. Well, that's not applicable to all companies. But what I want to say is that if you want to move up, make sure you do your best keep all your stats clean, keep your attendance, your productivity, everything clean, so that one day when you plan to move up, there won't be any hindrance of you going to that level because you did your job, you did your best, and you deserve that post.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I think there are also viewers out there who want to, move up from being a customer service specialist. And I think that's a nice career plan because you actually want to level up and you want to learn more skills and also this time through helping other people, right? Because
yes,
by
and not
becoming
only
a
that,
trainer.
it's bigger pay. Bigger pay.
Yes, and also bigger responsibility, I should say.
Yes, bigger obligations. True.
That's true. So to everyone out there, if you want to apply for a promotion, then please go ahead and do so. There's no harm in trying. Like what Marge said, just take care of your stats and your performance.
Yes.
Yes, true. And to wrap up our conversation, Marge, what is your advice to people who want to be part of the BPO industry?
Okay. If you want to be part of the BPO industry, don't listen to other people saying that that's a very low kind of job, that's only for people who did not graduate. Don't listen to them, guys. There are successful, let's say, engineers, teachers who opt to work in the call center, and it doesn't really matter what your background is. As long as you love that job, then you want to go for it, then go for it. Don't listen to other people, listen to yourself. They're not the ones who will be working, going to that office, it's going to be you. So
Yes.
give your 100%, pray, if you really love it, pray for it, work hard for it, and study before you do certain actions so that you'll be 100% prepared when you already apply.
Wow, that is a wonderful advice. Thank you so much, Marge. I think, our viewers can really learn from that, especially when there are so many voices around you telling you what to do. At the end of the day, it's your decision ultimately. And I like what you said about, especially in the BPO industry, it doesn't really matter where you came from. Even if you did not graduate at all, there is always going to be an opportunity for you as long as you have the skills and you're willing to learn, and you have the attitude, for you to really survive and grow in the BPO industry.
And to add, there are people who were not really graduates, but they excel in the BPO industry, and they reach the managerial level. So
True.
Don't doubt yourself. Give all your best, and let's see where you reach.
Yes.
Which part of the levels you will reach. But
That's
good luck and God bless to you all.
Wow, thank you so much for your time, Marge, and for sharing your insights. I'm so
You're
happy
welcome.
that you're able to make time for this. And to everyone,
Such an honor to be here.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much for your time. And everyone, I hope you've learned a lot. I'm sure you did from this conversation. Don't forget about our ebook giveaway. Just comment your key takeaway or lesson learned plus your name or your username, and I will announce the winners on my Facebook page and my YouTube community page as well. So we'll see you at our next episode, and take care. Bye. All right. And